guys, this is Shen.
And I'm Siri.
Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Before we start, I have an announcement. I'm doing a January giveaway. I will be giving away custom illustrations to two winners. To enter this giveaway, you have to be subscribed to this channel, follow me on my Instagram, post a picture you would like me to draw on Instagram using the hashtag ShenDrawThis. The rules will also be in the description down below. Please check it out. The giveaway will end on 31st January. So today's case is about a Brazilian serial killer, Pedro Rodrigues Filho.
Yes, diversity.
This is a roller coaster.
Okay.
Rodrigues was born on a farm in Santa Rita do Sapucaí, south of Minas Gerais. With his skull bruised as a result of his father kicking his pregnant mother's belly during a fight, he claimed he wanted to kill for the first time at age 13. In a fight with an older cousin, he pushed the young man into a sugarcane press, almost killing him.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, what a start. Like there was no smooth way of going in, just straight up bruised head because kicked like his father kicked his pregnant mother. Jesus Christ.
I know. He's already crazy. You can tell he's already crazy.
Yeah, at what did you say, that was 13?
Yeah, 13.
Wow, okay.
At the age of 14, he killed the deputy mayor of Santa Rita do Sapucaí by shooting him with a shotgun that belonged to his grandfather.
Wow.
He shot him in front of the city hall for having fired his father, a school guard, who was accused of stealing food from the school kitchen.
The father who kicked his pregnant mother while he was in the belly? Like, why?
It will be kinda clear towards the end.
Okay.
He then killed a security guard who was suspected of being the actual thief. Rodrigues took refuge in Mogi das Cruzes, Greater Sao Paulo, where he began robbing drug dens and killing traffickers. He soon met Maria Aparecida Olimpia, nicknamed Botinha, and then began living together. Botinha became pregnant but lost the baby when she was executed by a rival gang leader. Rodrigues escaped and later he regrouped some soldiers and set up his own business. In search of revenge for the murder of his pregnant girlfriend and unborn child, he tortured and killed several people, trying to find out who was responsible. The gang leader, a former rival who had been betrayed by his ex-wife, received a visit from Rodrigues and four friends during a wedding party. They left a trail of 7 dead and 16 wounded. At that time, Rodrigues was not even 18 years old.
Jesus, how many people, like, I can't imagine what's his total number of death count. Like, how many people has he killed? He's not even 18 and he's just
Killing people left, right, and center.
he just massacred like 7 people
Yeah.
and tortured a bunch of people to get the information. Brazil's scary.
This guy is scary.
This guy is scary. But Brazil does have like a reputation of having a lot of gangs and gang violence.
True.
Yeah, and he must not be in a very good neighborhood of Brazil as well.
Yeah. Still in Mogi, he executed his father in a city jail for killing his mother with 21 machete blows. His revenge was cruel. In addition to 22 stab wounds, he ripped out his father's heart, chewed a part, and spat it out, according to a TV interview with journalist Marcelo Rezende.
I don't get one thing. He killed his father, ate his heart, and then gave an interview with a journalist saying what he did?
I think so. Or else, like, how did they know?
Did he go to jail for this, or he's just bragging on TV, or what is happening?
I feel like he should have been jailed a long time ago.
That's true.
This is wild.
What year is this happening in?
This is before 1973.
You said roller coaster, but roller coasters go up and down. This ride is only going up.
Yes.
Wow. This isn't like a roller coaster. This is a stairway to hell. It's getting worse and worse.
It's escalating really fast. Rodriguez was arrested for the first time on 24 May 1973 and has lived in prison most of his adult life. It is said in the police records that he was once put on a muffler to be transported by the PM together with another prisoner, both handcuffed, and that when they went to open the back of the car, the other prisoner was already dead. Rodriguez took responsibility for the crime, justifying it by claiming that his companion was a rapist.
Rich coming from this guy.
Yes.
Also, I'm confused. What does muffler mean in this context? Because in my country, muffler means a scarf.
In my country, muffler means scarf too. I was imagining a scarf, but I think it's like a headgear.
I know, right? You said they were put on a muffler, and I'm like, huh? And then when you said like when they opened the door, the other one was already dead. I think mufflers, like, Then I started imagining Silence of the Lambs, sort of a restraining device with a thing in their mouth, like that kind of like muffle their voice or something.
Like I said, I think something like a headgear.
Yeah. Something to not let them talk or
Restrain him.
yeah, some sort of mouth restrainer or something.
Yeah.
Didn't you say he was transported by like the president or something?
Prime Minister.
The prime minister? That's big, right?
I think so. But I don't know if PM means the same thing in that country. It should, right? It's a universal term, right?
Oh, right, yeah. Maybe, but then it could also be like a prison term, right? Does Brazil have a president or prime minister? Let me check.
I think they have a prime minister.
No. They have a president.
So then what is PM? If you guys know what PM is in Brazil, please comment down below. Because we don't know. Although he was sentenced to 126 years imprisonment, he was to be released in 2003 because Brazilian law prohibits anyone from spending more than 30 years behind bars. Although there was a 1934 decree signed by then President Getulio Vargas, which allowed psychopaths to be maintained indefinitely in psychiatric establishments for treatment. Also, because of further crimes he committed inside the prisons, which increased his sentences to almost 400 years. His stay in prison was extended by the justice until 2017. Rodriguez had the freedom to remake his life with his girlfriend, a former prisoner whose name he did not reveal, whom he had met by exchanging letters. After serving 12 years for theft, the woman was released and visited Rodriguez in the Tabute prison.
So, is this guy out right now? Because 2017 was 3 years ago. Even though this thing's happening somewhere in 1970s, and then he gets like 400 years of prison sentence, and apparently 1970 plus 400 is 2017. Math.
I don't think he's out now.
Okay, he must have done a lot more bad things while still inside a prison. Also, it's interesting that what you said, that Brazil doesn't allow for more than 30 years behind bars. Do you think that's a good thing?
For people like him, no.
Right?
But for people like, there might be some kind of remorse. I don't think they have capital punishment though.
True. Yeah, he should have gotten, instead of getting 400-year sentence, which is like, what's the point of raising all the years when you know that humans don't live for 400 years?
Yeah. It's so weird. Might as well give him capital punishment. It also bothers me because you raised his sentence to that many years, but you won't keep them more than 30 years.
30 years, yeah. How does that make sense at all? Or, like, I don't get it. So after 30 years, they're out, and then what? They're on probation for the rest of the 370 years? Is that the deal?
And imagine, who looks after them? Like, who goes and checks every time? I'm pretty sure Brazil has so many criminals.
True. And Brazil's population is huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think this more than 30 years behind bars is or I don't know. I mean, this is like the first Brazilian case I've heard of, and this is extreme. This particular guy should be behind bars forever, for more than 400 years.
I just feel like, yes, I guess that Death sentence would be too quick for him, considering what he has done. But keep him in prison. Don't let him out after 30 years.
The only thing I've seen so far that's redeemable about this guy is that he respects women, I think.
So far, yeah.
Right? Because he killed someone because they were a rapist. He took revenge for his girlfriend. He took revenge for his mom.
He killed a lot of people. We only know a few who were guys, but the rest we don't know what gender. According to fellow prisoners, Rodriguez is a phenomenon of survival in the harsh prison regime, as a prisoner could hardly survive that long. He killed and wounded dozens of fellow criminals in order to survive. Once he was attacked by 5 prisoners, killing 3 of them and chasing away the other 2. Rodriguez also killed a cellmate because he snored too much, and another because he did not like his face. To leave no doubt about his willingness to kill, he tattooed on his left arm, "I kill for pleasure."
Wow. This dude's a beast. Like, for a second, I was pretty impressed by, fighting off 5 people at once, killing 3 of them, and then chasing away the 2. And then the next line was like, killed someone because they didn't like their face.
Or snored too much.
He's nuts. There's no way. If there isn't a capital punishment, they need to invent it for this dude.
I agree.
Because there's no chance of rehabilitation for this.
Yeah.
He's too far gone.
He's too proud. He seems so proud of whatever he has done so far.
Yeah. Somebody out there in prison probably knows how to cure cancer, but probably they got shot in the face because their roommate did not like their face. And we're all doomed.
Rodriguez could be described, according to psychiatrists, as a psychopath, someone with no remorse and no compassion for others. However, psychopaths do not develop affection. There are chances that he was developing some for his mother and ex-girlfriend, describing him instead as a sociopath for wanting to avenge their death. Psychiatrists who analyzed him in 1982 for an expert's report wrote that the greatest motivation of his life was the violent affirmation of oneself. They diagnosed him as a paranoid and antisocial character.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, didn't we? That, like, we thought that it was respect for his mom and ex-girlfriend, but he just likes taking revenge?
Yeah.
Do you think this is related to genes? Because his dad is also obviously a psychopath.
Yeah.
Also, what about that initial thing about him getting punched in the head before he was even born?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that really played a part, but it also, I'm not sure about genes, but it could be because of the environment he lived in. His father was already abusive, so growing up, he saw his father being abusive, and him trying to kill his cousin and whatnot, it gave him a rush like it gave his father.
Also, going back to the punch in the head thing, do you know that American soccer or rugby or soccer, whatever it's called, American football, they get hit a lot and they get a lot of head injuries.
There's a term for that,
right? There is a term for it. Like they get so many concussions that it permanently changes something in their brain and they become like violent, and you can't diagnose it until they're dead. Like once they die, then you can open up their head and then you can check that yes, that thing like did happen because of their job.
Yeah.
CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like they get so many repeated head injuries that what does that make them do? Dementia, suicide, mood problems, behavior problems. Yeah, behavioral problems. They can become very violent.
Yeah.
And they can't check for this.
After staying in prison for 34 years, he was released on 24 April 2007. Intelligence information from the National Security Force indicated that he had moved to the northeast, more precisely to Fortaleza in Sierra. On 15 September 2011, local media reported that Rodriguez was arrested at his home in a rural area where he worked as a caretaker in Balneario Camboriú, the Santa Catrina coast. According to news reports from RBS News, he will have to serve 8 years on charges such as riot and deprivation of liberty committed while he was detained in Sao Paulo.
I don't get it. He was released after like 30 years in prison, and then they came back a few years later and arrested him again, even though he was peacefully living in some rural area.
He wasn't peacefully living there.
Was he not? Well, didn't you? I just assumed because you said like that he was working as a nurse or something.
No, caretaker. Yeah, like a nurse. I think it's like a nurse.
Or could be like a home caretaker, or could be also like a person's caretaker. But anyways, like it's a good job. So I just assumed that he was in a small town as a caretaker, living, a rehabilitated life. And then they came back and arrested him again for more like 10 years in prison. I don't get it.
8 years, and for charges for riot and deprivation of liberty.
What is deprivation of liberty?
I've got no idea.
Never heard of this term.
Do you think they have similar laws to US?
I think like the US terms, I think we're used to now, like DUIs or manslaughter in the second degree or first degree, somewhat understandable.
Yeah, I get it. But I don't know what deprivation of liberty is.
I know what each term means. I don't know what it means together. Basically, lack of freedom.
Whose lack of freedom?
No idea. He was arrested for lack of freedom, which I don't understand.
His own freedom?
Maybe other people's freedom.
Yeah, could be. It's possible. It's him. Also, I wouldn't trust him as a caretaker. What?
It says that deprivation of liberty is something to do with the Mental Capacity Act. It's like, wasn't he a caretaker?
Yeah, that's what I said. I wouldn't trust him for that.
It's like, people who are in a mental care home.
Yeah.
It's something that protects their rights if they're being denied. There's a law that protects their rights, the ones that are living in care homes and they can't consent, or they're not fully there. So I'm guessing this is like a new charge that he did because he was a caretaker.
Oh no, that's so sad.
Yeah, I don't think he was being good.
He's also known as the Brazilian Dexter.
Why is he even known as the Brazilian Dexter? Isn't his story like really old? Dexter came out like 2010.
There's so many people like Dexters. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this video.
And thank you for joining us.
If you like this drawing and you want to see the finished piece, please check out my Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below which true crime or supernatural case you would like to see next. Or if you have any story of your own you would like to share, you can send them to me to my email or my Instagram.
Or on our subreddit. All the links will be in the description down below. Subscribe for more videos like this, and if you're already subscribed, please click the bell to be notified in the future.
And don't forget about the giveaway. Thank you.
See ya!